Hi, my name is Caitlin Grounds, and this is my presentation for Grounds Grown, my personal business. So one thing that I noticed as a sewing major at BYU, Idaho, that everybody has the same pincushion, and that really kind of bothered me in the sense that they're relatively small and they didn't have a lot of options when it came to colors or different shapes. They're always just that red tomato. And I really saw that as an opportunity, and I went ahead and created Grounds Grown, and our first item was a cactus pincushion, along with wanting something that was a little bit more functional for the sewing community. I was missing home. I am from Arizona, and I really love the cactus that you can find there, specifically saguaros or barrel cactus. And after consulting with my mom, we managed to create our first cactus pincushion, which everyone who saw it when I was in the sewing lab loved it. And I realized, oh, this could become really profitable. And so we started looking into creating a business out of it. And we made a couple different color options and things like that, and they sold pretty well. But I wanted to expand on not having just one single item. And after that, we looked into a couple other home decor items that we could add to the brand. One including a cheeseburger ottoman, which I had created in class for a project, but everyone again was in love with it. He's pretty big. We call him Chester, and everyone seems to love him. He's a great conversation starter. And we looked at a couple other items that we had been confident enough to make, including some pillow shams. And we looked for ways of creating stylish home decor items that were intriguing, and still gave variety, but function at the same time. And this is our products that we came up with. You can see the different cactuses and the iterations that they come in. There is a jar in the bottom where the pot is, so you can twist off the lid where the cactus is, and you can store different sewing supplies or little snacks. They could be used even not in the sewing aspect. You can use them as hidey holes to keep keys or hide some money. We have the tea towels that we had originally planned on doing. They are painted on with some stencils, and you could customize them to have the home be from whatever state that you're from. And of course the seasonal pillow shams for the different seasons, including Valentine's Day, Christmas, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and a generic one of they look like arrows for every other time of the year when there isn't a holiday around. And the cheeseburger ottoman is right there. That will be Chester. I was thinking we could do multiple different toppings, and you can pick and choose which of the different toppings you could pick, and kind of customize your cheeseburger ottoman in that way. Along with, so like I said, we started out with the pincushions with their different colors. The pillow shams are seasonal, and they're just shams, so it helps save room, especially for college students who don't have a lot of extra storage in their apartments. They just lay flat, or you can fold them up and kind of just stuff them or shove them wherever you need to, and they just go over an existing pillow, which is really nice. Cheeseburger ottoman, which is used mainly for decoration, but does have a decent function. You can sit on it or prop your feet up on it, and it is a great conversation starter. We had originally thought about doing the tea towels, but decided against it due to process of getting the stencils. It wouldn't work with current materials available. along with those, I had looked into maybe possibly expanding into apparel at some point. For our market, it is a pretty limited market, mainly to people who sew, or people learning to sew. In that sense, it is a very niche market. But we are going to try and expand into maybe the apparel side with accessories like bow ties or regular shirt ties. We would be stationed through the online sector, so we would have a pretty decent market size in that sense, that we could get a hold of a lot more people in online than say we were a brick and mortar store just in town. For my customer segments, I decided that I would have mainly 3 main ones that would probably get the most traction with the business. We have sewing students like Abby or Idaho in the program. We have single moms who are stay at home and don't really have a lot of things to do. Maybe when their kids are off, they sew, and so that would be an option. And of course, the older generation that has a lot of sewing experience and is looking for maybe a new way of doing things, or just something cute that they can use or even give to their grandchildren. And all of these are customer segments that would be able to buy from the shop and maybe even share with others. The main way for GroundsGrown to get business would be to run some ad campaigns. We've had a lot of good experience with Google AdWords, and have some experience in that regard, and know different ways of targeting through keywords and different things like that. Along with AdWords, Facebook ads seemed to be working pretty good on our end, and managed to get quite a few likes and followers, and was a good homepage for people to see the products and talk about them with their friends, and leave some reviews for the company. The way people will get a hold of the product is through online, as I said before. Strictly online, maybe expand into a brick and mortar location should the business continue to succeed. We do ship through United Postal Service, and that is just the easiest way for the product to get to everyone. So you can see our diagram that people would see the ads, they would come to the shop, decide what they want and purchase. The shipping would happen, and then it would get delivered to them. For key partners, we would have our website based in Squarespace, and we have to get the materials to make the products. We would have that in Joann's or AC Moore, a local crafts company. And should necessity arise that I need more hands to get the product going, we can pull from fellow students who I can give a couple dollars to help with the work. Our key resources that we need to worry about, we do have to have the materials to make the products, like fabric and hot glue, and jars specifically for the cactus, and we do have to have a lot of stuffing for both the cactus and the cheeseburger so that they can function properly. We need computers to run the shop since it is online, and boxes and packing tape and other shipping materials for the process of shipping. Key activities include creating the product, that's sewing and constructing. We do have to advertise to get the word out there to make sure that we are doing the most that we can to continue to get customers. Along with that, just making sure that the shop is operating well, running sales, and having customer service should the need arise. Costs include the material costs of fabric, generally about $7 a yard with your regular cotton. We get the big filling bags of polyfill for about $12, and that can last us for quite a while. For the cactuses, we need quite a bit for the cheeseburger. I haven't quite looked into those pricings yet. Jars are relatively cheap. The website does have an annual renewal fee that we have to pay to use the services and to keep the domain. There is advertising costs with any ad campaign, that's cost per click and things like that, along with shipping costs for getting the materials to the customers. The revenue is transaction based. As soon as someone wants something, they pay for it and then they receive it. I price the cactuses at $10. That gives us a pretty decent overhead, including costs of making the cactuses and shipping them. Cheeseburger would be $80 due to the size and materials used. Pillow shams are only $6. They are relatively easy and inexpensive. For me, conversion rate is big, especially from the ads. If the ads are not getting conversions, we need to figure out how to make that better. So conversions are very important to me. Operating costs from whether that's the business, materials, things like that. I need to know what those are so that I know how much to sell, how much I need to sell to keep the business running. In that sense, I also need to accurately price out my items, and that's a metric that really does matter. I don't want to make them too pricey that no one will buy them, but cheap but not too cheap that I'm not making any profit. Click-through rate with AdWords is very, very important, and we really want to make sure that we are getting out there and getting seen. We need to worry about location of customers, as shipping charges do go up when they are farther away, so just keeping that in mind. We did have a lot of great interviews for the minimum viable product. A lot of people in the market were very intrigued and very interested in buying it. But even people outside of the market knew people that would enjoy the product, and so would possibly buy the product for a gift. But this just went to show that I really should look into getting a slightly stronger market. There aren't many mom and pop, just straight shops. There's a bunch of different things on Etsy and things like that, but just strictly a business that is handmade items that they sell online. It's very few and far between, and some full businesses, organizations kind of look down on that. So interactions in that way can be a little tricky with other businesses, but otherwise the business environment is very nice and pretty supportive. Strengths, we are completely handmade items, and we do have customers that are ready to buy the products as soon as they become available. And we do have a lot of word of mouth on campus, so we would have a lot there. We do, as I said, we are small, and it's honestly just me making the items at the moment, and there's a lot of personal risk as it is all through me. There's opportunities to grow, which is really nice. We do offer products that help solve problems and help ease the tensions of sewing. Sometimes it creates a nicer environment, and you can create a nice community. Along with that, we do have a lot of competition through Etsy because it is a handmade kind of product, and I want to make sure that I get the right pricing. In conclusion, we've gone through a lot of changes and a lot of pivots, but I think we're at a point that we can successfully get this going, and I hope that this answers any questions that you may have. Look forward to hopefully working with you and creating this wonderful business. Thank you.